My smartboard is misaligned. Hey. There we go. That's better. Okay. I took Michael's words and just changed them a little bit, clarify them. Between Tom's need to survive and the dangerous height of the ledge. Follow this formula. Tomorrow, when you walk into class and you start writing for me, I want you to think, oh, Mr. Clarkson told me exactly what to write. I know exactly what goes in this sentence. As we continue through the class, through the year, you'll say that same thing about the paragraph. And then you'll say that same thing about the essay. And then it'll become natural to write in that mode. And what you get to eventually is clarity. So, you're talking about conflict. In this story, this author develops a conflict between this and this. It's a natural idea. It's a natural expression, and people understand it. So do it. Here's how the sentence is written. In contents of a dead man's pocket, Jack Finney, and Billy, I'm going to change one thing here. Develops or constructs I like a little bit better than impose. Impose means that you're kind of forcing somebody to do something. You're imposing your will on somebody. That's not quite the right word there, but develops or constructs works well. In contents of a dead man's pocket, Jack Finney develops the conflict between Tom's need to survive and the dangerous height of the ledge. That is your topic sentence. The rest of that paragraph would simply explain that to the audience, would add detail. But that one sentence captures the idea. Go ahead, Zach.
That's all you would need to write. That's what you were.
No, that would be the topic sentence, right? If you were writing a paragraph for me, that would be the topic sentence, and then you would explain. And what do you think you would have to explain?
Explain why, like how everything kind of happened.
Give a little bit of summary of the story, and then explain how that's a conflict. Yeah, basically that's it. So an answer like that, explain the person versus nature conflict, would probably be 5 sentences, led by this one. Okay. All right. David. Tom Beneke versus Tom Beneke. Can you give me either side of this conflict that you've identified?
His mind like challenges him to do things he doesn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, he does want to do it. But like, yeah, it's like a conflict between.
You're totally right. You've just got a couple blanks in there that we have to fill in. And let me help you out here. What happens in the beginning before he goes out on the ledge? Riley?
He's having a conversation with his wife about, I think it's like either a movie or a play that they want to go see.
Yep.
And he really wanted to see it too, and he was debating with himself whether or not he wanted to go because technically the paper wasn't due yet. So he was debating whether to finish the paper or to go to the movie with his wife that he wanted to see.
And he ends up doing what?
Well, right in the paper.
Right, working on the paper. Okay, so he has a decision. I could go out with my wife to a movie, or I could stay home and work. And he decides to stay home and work. The author did not write that accidentally. The author wrote that because it's a characterization of the conflict that David has just mentioned. He faces that decision between work and his wife. Now realize what he did. He just sent his wife out on, what was this, a Friday or Saturday night, to go see a movie by herself. Guys sitting in the room right now, if you pull that move, you better be married, because otherwise you just lost your girlfriend. Tom has decided to stay home and sort of selfishly work. So what's his motivation on one hand? Work. What's his other motivation? I'm sorry?
Personal want.
Oh, personal want, okay. So, but this one seems almost more selfish than this one, doesn't it? So I'm not, because the work seems like a really selfish need. He decides to ditch his wife. So that one really seems selfish. So I think you're getting to it, Riley, but let's characterize it in a different way. David? Fun? Yeah, that's getting closer. Here, this is what I'll put on. Work or life. This is why I say that. Those people who suffer from workaholic syndrome often miss life. Life is fun. Life is family. Life is love. Life is noticing the world around you. And work is a part of that. What has Tom Beneke done? Tom Beneke is ignoring life. And what happens to him through the course of the story? What does he risk? He risks his own life. This conflict is a person versus nature conflict, but this conflict is also, as David has already told you, a person versus self conflict between his need to work and his need to really live. And when he gets back in there, he has made the decision to ditch this and to go for this. He learned his lesson. And it took a ledge to teach him that lesson. Took a near-death, well, near-death experiences often teach us a lot, right? And it took that near-death experience to teach him that lesson. Okay, we're running short on time. We haven't yet discussed the conflict in the Mask of the Red Death, so at the beginning of class tomorrow we can pick that up pretty quickly, talk about it, and then we will go into your writing assignments, where you will basically do this, respond to prompts based upon conflict analysis.